Hey everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. This is Popsicle 6. I'm the event director for the 2026 Mentor Program. This is a link to the past. No major glitches, no save and quit. This is not a tournament, it's an educational program. And today we're picking up where we left off from last week. And we will be going presented by Mentor Meowski.
Hey everyone. I'm yeah, I'm ready. Let's get started. Oh, should I should switch on my end, right? There we go. Can you see that okay? All right. I'm assuming that this is going through properly. Hey Summer. Hey everybody. Okay, so last time we left off at right outside of Desert Palace. So in the practice hack under presets, go to Desert Palace and then entrance. So gotcha. Okay. Well, hopefully it's big enough for you all to see. We might have to switch it over so that it's just the game feed, but you know. All right. So first room, we want to get in here. We want to dash left and dash up. Good visual cue here is you want this guy coming out of the ground to be like about halfway through Link. You don't want to go any further than that, otherwise you're going to bonk up there. So dash left, dash up, go left, pick up this pot, throw it, dash up. If you're fast enough, you're not going to get hit by that guy. This is gonna nudge. If you're worried about him, just throw the pot at him. But you should be fast enough to not get hit. So here, you want to just go up and spin this one. And go this way. So that's, I guess I should probably, like, mention, most of the strats that I'm going to be doing are kind of tailored for beginners, newbies, people who haven't completed a run, people who have only completed a few runs. So just, keep that in mind. If you're newer, like, definitely just go for the spin strat. If you're, not newer, you also might want to go for this if you need the rupee there. If you're going for tree rupees, for example. The turbo gamer strat here is you poke him and then you dash through. Poke him like here, go left to here, dash through. The left movement is mostly for it's for timing purposes, right? It's not really necessary. You can, poke and then just dash through. Should be the same as like any other, poke dash. But yeah, for most of you, you're gonna want to just spin him, go right through. Dash up to here. We're gonna get this key. So the way this works in this room is you want to bonk the torch. Bonking this torch knocks the key off. But if you bonk the torch directly, then you're gonna get knocked all the way over to here, and that's slow, and we don't want that, right? I mean, it only loses a little bit of time, but what you want to do is nudge this torch and then bonk on the wall, so you end up closer to the key. There are a few ways of doing this. I like going to the right up to about here, like this circle here. And if you notice, like you don't, the BMOS doesn't have a hitbox like over here. If you go down here, he'll hit you, but up here, he's fine. Missing some of the game screen. Uh-oh. Let me know when that's fixed. Yeah, I guess before I really get into it, hold on. How do I pause? I guess this is good enough. So let me test out the whiteboard. It's fixed now? Yeah, but basically you want to go up to, it's a bad line. Up to here, like this circle here, then left. Or you want to go here and then left. Either way works. So I'll just show both of those real quick. Grab the key, go out the door. You can space it if you're like on this line right here, on this set of circular tiles. You can dash right out of the door without like hitting the BMOS. Oop, that was too low. You know, if you're like too far over, you can just cancel the dash and not bonk. Not a big deal. Just, you know, get out of the room without taking damage. And then this is, oops. And then this is if you want to go left. I personally like going right. That's the way I was taught. Yeah, no worries. Glad we fixed that early on. So anyway, you're gonna go down over to here. There are arrows in this pot, and you're gonna want to get them because we're going to want arrows for Landmos and beyond. It's slower getting them on the way this way than it will be on the way back. But you know, if you don't like the strat on the way back, you can always get them on the way this way. Over here, you're gonna be tempted to like do a few dashes here. Just hold diagonal, go through the door. Here, want to just kill the popos like that. Do that again a few times. For the last one, you want to delay the slash like a teeny bit. Otherwise, it might not come out because of like weird janky reasons. You know, dashing through like this popo over here. So let's show that again. Oops. As long as you go through here and like, you know, you'll like nudge on the statue and be along here. You'll always be able to dash through this guy. But if you mess this up, maybe you bonk or something, you know, just go through, kill the popos, try not to take damage, and then go through the next room. Here, you want to dash up and then try to avoid the cannonballs. They'll do different things every time. So like here, I just dashed right through. You're gonna get the chest. Before they were in the way. They actually have 3 different patterns, but don't worry about it too much. Just get through, grab the big key, go down. If you really want to optimize this room, if you're newer, like don't worry too much about that room. Just get past the cannonballs, try not to take damage, get the key, get out. If you really want to like lab this room out, what you want to do is try to get a dash really early on into the room. If you get through without having to stop at all, after you get the big key, you want to dash immediately out of the chest. I actually messed up and accidentally pulled the chest, but it's fine because I got lucky. If you have to stop, let's see if I can redo this, because I think it might not be like completely re-randomizing. Yeah, there we go. That time I had to stop. You have to stop like that, go down to the end of the carpet there, and then dash down. And then there's a third RNG where like one cannonball goes early. You're gonna have to like diagonal around it and just kind of game your way through it. It's like a little bit trickier, but you know, not super complicated. Let's do that one more time since the save state's over here. If you're newer and you don't like understand the cycles that well, like you might have to stop on the way down to get around cannonballs. You know, just again, big focus is like just don't take damage, get through the room, right? Now you're gonna come back here, back up here. This is where you're gonna get the arrows. You can do it like that. That's probably the fastest way. You can do it from like the left side. You can, you know, do it from the right side if you prefer that. But the way I do it is that. So we're gonna go back. Now that we have the big key, we can get either the gloves or the mitts. I can't remember which ones, and also this is in Japanese, so I can't like read which ones. But yeah, so you're gonna go into here. You're gonna grab this arrow pot. Grab the pot over here to get the button. Grab these arrows and then go through. It looks like this. If you do it right, you should never take damage. Be careful of the BMOS. If you are just holding left out of the door, you won't be able to grab this pot, so you're gonna have to go like a little bit down. Heads up. Also, if you're getting, depending on time, I might not really get into tree rupees once we get to Aghanim's Tower. But if you're getting tree rupees, you want to be at 9 rupees after here. So if you're at fewer than 9, you want to also get this pot right here. So that would look like this. If you're new and you don't know what 3 rupees are, don't worry about it. That's not something you need to think about until, like, you're under, like, I don't know, an hour 40 at the very least, probably. Just kind of like a more volatile money route. It saves a little bit of time. So, grab this chest. Get the power glove, that's what it is. So on the way down, it's if you dash down here, you're gonna slow way down on these stairs. But also it's not completely optimal to just walk down the whole way. So what you want to do is go down about halfway and then dash down the rest of the way. It's like here-ish. Be a little bit further down, like that. Don't sweat it if you mess that up a little bit. Just a little bit of a time save. Go back, push the button, dash through here. Here, you hold down right, just go through this. If you're newer, you might want to go all the way to this wall and then dash down, because that way you don't get stuck in this guy's trap. But if you're more confident in being able to get dashes early into a screen, you can. It's a little bit faster to go on this side and just do a dash fast enough to skip that guy. The window isn't, it's fairly big. If you're like worried about getting a dash in early enough, like chances are if you fail that, you probably are doing the dash too early, and then you miss it, and then you react to missing it, and then you try to dash. But again, if you're worried about that, just go like around the right side. Just go around him. It doesn't, barely loses any time. Why does that save time? It has something to do with, that's a good question. It has something to do with the fact that you have to go, around the Devilant. And it only saves like a little bit of time, to be honest. It's like it's only a few frames of time save, but like you might as well just kind of hold down right. Because it's like very, like, even though it's pretty similar, like it's like a little bit of time save. I can't remember exactly what else goes on there. Like there's a weird like Devilant cycle that you have to go around, and but yeah. Oh, in regards to big chests, that I actually don't know. I know it is faster. The stairs there are weird. Someone else might know the answer to that, but that is a good question. I wish I knew the answer to that. But yeah. Anyway, here, I think you push this block. So this is if you want to, if you have like a bottle in that. Okay, so dashing on the stairs is slower. I'll go back to this room. We have a little bit of time. But the stairs, I think, sort of, they act weirdly, like differently on the top than they do on the bottom, is my guess. So if I'm dashing up here, see how like slow he's going? And then he'll speed up later on. But if I walk this part, it's actually faster, and then you dash this part, and he goes, like, there's no slowdown at that point. Yeah, for sure. Some of these things, honestly, like, it's good to ask questions about these things, because I personally don't entirely know, like, why that is, and why, stair lag happens so high up on those stairs specifically. I don't know. Some of the stuff is kind of black magic, if I'm being honest. But, let's see. Here, I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet. If you have a bottle in that, and you want fairies, fairies are in this room up here. Push this block to get to them. You can grab fairies over here. But if not, you just you just go from here over to here outside. So here, you're going to see a few different strats, or you're going to see a different strat if you watch like a top runner. What I want you to do is just dash up here, then go through. There's a much harder strat. Well, not much. There's a harder strat that's going to risk you like falling off the ledge here and losing a minute of your time and also your sanity, where you charge a spin speed. You have to release the spin speed like pretty high, because this also is an example of stairs where the stairs sort of end like up here. So like you get off the stairs like around here. You go down in menu to, you're going to go menu to lamp anyway at some point, so you can use this to sort of like stop Link easily, and then you hold up right. If you're newer, if you're not, frankly, if you don't have a sub 90, I would recommend against doing this. And even after that, it's probably like still for a while, worth it to just do the dash. Because it's like it's so risky, going here in spin speed, because if you touch this ledge, you're just falling off, right? So for most of you, dash up here, go to the right, go up in here, push this block and go through. Yeah, it's frightening. I got stuck in that ledge one time. Like I have a clip of it somewhere, but I just got stuck like inside of the ledge, which also sucks, but it was like, insult to injury, right? Like not only did I fall off, I'm like trapped inside of a ledge. You have zero interest in that spin speed? Yeah, totally fair. That's one of the spin speeds that you probably avoid for a long time. So in this room, this is a room where grid alignment and key dashing are important. I think it might be the first like key dash room in the game. I think this is the first key dash room in the game. So the way key dashing works is if you are a multiple of 4 pixels away from a key door when you start dashing towards it, you will, and you have the key, you will open the door and also go through it without bonking, right? So I'll show what happens if you're not aligned. You go over here, bonk on that, get hit by the tiles, hate your life. So what you want to do is line up with this wall and then dash up. So go grab the pot, line up with this wall, dash up. And it's important that you start your dash and then turn up instead of like doing up and then dash. Because if you do up and then dash, you're going up at like at least a pixel, and then you're going to be off alignment. So yeah, totally fair. It's a pretty dangerous place in rando. But yeah, that's how you key dash through this door. Not a tricky room once you practice and get the hang of it. This room, so this room is it has a little bit of RNG, right? All the popos go in different directions every time. They stay in place for a while, but then they go in different directions. So the second half of the room, you're going to have to sort of, use like intuition and try to feel like which way to go, who to slash first, etc. But for the first half of the room, what you do is you go left, dash down, and then slash that guy, and then you kill the next two. Important thing to note, because you're dashing through an enemy, you have to delay your sword slash once you cancel the dash by a little bit. Just like, a few frames. I'm not entirely sure how many. Some people, what they do for timing is, oop, I missed the popo. Dash down, and then they go like right and then left really quick. Or you can just, wait like a little bit and then slash. Slash these guys. You can dash or walk through. You're probably going to want to walk through, but like sometimes, if the last popo is like right in front of the door, you can charge a dash and then start going through as the door opens, and that saves a teeny bit of time. But most of the time, you're just going to want to walk through. I'll show that one more time. Over here, what people used to do in this room is they would dash above the torch. And the problem with that is it makes it so that the popos up like at the top of the room are able to move earlier. They get in your way. It's on average it loses time. even though this is, you know, a little bit more circuitous, right? You want to go around the torch like this and then go up. You want to go down to this line of circles, dash over, dash up, go up here. Don't get hit by that. I'll just show the whole room really quick. Then this is another key dash. Main thing, you know, don't stress too much over dash lines here. The main thing is you want to get up like fast, try not to take damage. A lot of stuff going on. If you do the strat correctly, you won't take damage. It should be, you know, pretty solvable, pretty like easy to just do. But if things go wrong, things can kind of go wrong in this room. So yeah, dash here, grab this pot. This is the key. This is another key dash. You can line up with these pots and then dash up, or you can nudge against the torch, because that will also put you on like a multiple of 4 pixels away from the door. You know, just by kind of being like here and nudging past the torch. So I'll show that one more time. This is nudging past the torch. The Popo almost got me. So if you want to be safer, you might want to be like a little bit lower. But if you do it right, you shouldn't be hit. Other important thing to note, there are safety hearts in this room. Oops, didn't mean to bonk there. I recommend against getting these hearts. So they're, hold on, here and here. Like most of the time, if I'm, you know, trying to get these hearts, it like messes up the room a little bit, and then I just get, I eat like 2 hits from the BMOS, and then, you know, I might as well not have gotten the hearts, right? So if you like really think you can do it, then like go for that. But they're gonna be backup hearts, you know, in 2 rooms from now. Here, dash up, don't bonk there. Grab the key, go through. I'll show that. I'm in this room again. I gotta make more frequent save states. Dash up, grab this, go through. This is a very, yeah, they're very unsafe safety hearts. This is a pretty optimizable room. Don't worry too much about it. If you're newer, you're probably gonna want to get the just the backup pots. So there's a heart here, there's a heart here, arrows here. There's magic in there, but you don't need that. So, you know, if you're starting out, you probably want like all 3 pots, frankly. Which will probably look something like this. Just grab these, grab this, grab this. You want to light all of these torches. So that'll look something like this. If you're not on the lamp, then menu to lamp here. Oops. Sometimes he goes down and sometimes he goes right. I didn't react like properly there. Try not to take damage from him. You don't have to kill this guy. It's better to just go around him. Just juke him a little bit. If you don't want any of that, the way you do this room is you go here, you can menu to lamp here. Oops. Try not to miss the torch, and then go through. Alright. Lanmos. This fight is more of an art than a science. This is, like, it's not the hardest fight in the game. Like, not by a good, you know, long mile. It's actually, like, not too hard to get through it without dying, at least. But the skill ceiling, this is probably the highest skill ceiling fight in the game, and, like, at some point, if you grind out times, like, really far, this is probably the boss fight you're going to practice the most. This or probably Ganon. If you... Lanmos, it's an acquired taste. I personally think the fight's really fun. But it only starts to be fun once you get really competent at it. Because you can do all kinds of, like, fun, you know, trick shots and, like, you know, cool, like, you know, 2-cycle quick kills, right? But when you're starting out... Love land meme. When you're starting out... let's make a save state in the door. When you're starting out... Just start out by getting familiar with the worms and the fight and, like, not taking damage. Don't when you're starting out, don't worry about using the bow. Don't be afraid to use the bow later on, because you will have to at some point, and it is like, I promise you, it's not as bad as you think it is. So if you're just doing, I guess, like if you're learning land mode, like the first layer to this is just learn how to, kill them with swords. Learn how to avoid the dirt. Learn how to not take damage, etc. So the way that works is, go up here. You're gonna switch to bow because you're always going to switch to bow. Probably go on like the left side here, and just kind of start slashing them. Let me pause when they come out. So they, when they come out of the ground, they shoot dirt diagonal from them. So you want to be like cardinal, either up, left, down, or right from them before you hit them. Sword slashes, spins, and pokes all do the same amount of damage here. So you can, do that. I can hold out a sword here. I can charge a spin and hit him. Like that. All the same amount of damage. You probably just want to slash them and maybe poke them. So this is what the fight looks like if you're just using the sword. Also important, let me try to show this in slow motion. So if there's only one worm left, it's going to shoot dirt in 8 directions. So you want to be like, not cardinal away from it, or not like, you want to just avoid this basically. So this should avoid that, right? It's easier to avoid these than you think it is, probably. Like, that works. To the side and like a little bit up is usually what I do to avoid like the dirt on the last phase. I'll show that one more time. Notice that how I went low there because I was worried about the dirt coming from that guy. I'm always looking at where they're gonna pop up, where the dirt's gonna come from, how to avoid that, where to get in a position to slash them. What else? Their heads give and take damage. The rest of the body and the tail, don't do anything. So I can walk through here and I'm fine. But then I took damage from the head. So, the first, few, like, do at least a few fights like this, just to get used to, like, their patterns, try to see, what they do when they pop out of the ground and move. At some point, you'll want to learn how to start shooting arrows at them, and arrows are faster because they die to 4 arrows, but they die to 8 slashes. So, arrows way faster. You can also shoot them like a little bit faster than you can slash them, I think, depending on like if you hit all your shots. So when you're first starting out, this isn't how like the fight normally starts out. There's actually kind of a scripted opening. Don't worry about that, at least at first. Just try to focus on, mending to the bow and then getting like 1 arrow in at them at a time, like that. It kind of takes a while to get used to the timing of when they come out. I like to look at the dirt pattern here. As you can notice, it the dirt, like the big like dark part in the middle of the hold on, like right here. That's a horrible circle. there's a dark part like in the middle, like right here right now, right? That you want to look at. It'll wiggle back and forth. Once it grows like kind of big and has a few wiggles, then you can start shooting arrows. Play around with it. It sort of depends on your distance from the dirt, but you want to be close and you want to shoot, at least to start with, from the sides. So it's gonna look like this. If you miss them, you can, just shoot them again when they're in the air. And then maybe you, get more used to it. You start like shooting down and up. It's easier to hit from the sides, but you can also, do that. Your goal for a while is just going to be try to get 1 arrow in each of them at a time, for each cycle. There I had to back off because the dirt was going to come for me there. Okay. I think this one's going to take a few more. 1 or 2. Oh, just 1, okay. I didn't count properly. You also want to keep track of how many arrows each one has in them. Which, takes a while to get down. But yeah, just, for a while, focus on 1 arrow per landmo per cycle. If you can get that down, then you can start doing like 2 arrows at a time. And then you can start learning the opening as well. So this fight has like a little bit of a scripted opening. They all start spawning from the same positions in the first cycle, and then everything after that is completely random, where they spawn from, where they go, how long they travel, which direction they travel. But in the first cycle, they all spawn from the same locations. So you can generally start the fight the same way. What you do is you hold it up right out of the door, bonk here, menu to bow if you haven't. I'm gonna make a save state here, and then go up like a little bit. Dash turn left. If you can, oh whoops, that's not how I. These are your coordinates. You want to be on ideally. Is the yeah, this is your Y. Ideally, you want to be on like 7.5F, I think 760, like somewhere around there. It's nowhere near pixel perfect. You just kind of want to be in the same ballpark as that, and then before you start shooting left. Shoot 2 left, 2 right, and then 2 down. I kind of messed it up there. Let's try it again. That's a little bit better. A lot of the times you'll miss like 1 arrow here and there. You want to do 2 left, 2 right, 2 down. With the goal of hopefully getting as many arrows into the last one as possible. To sort of whittle it down so that it doesn't, because it's going to be the last landmo on every cycle. So if you can kill it earlier, then you can save more time. But yeah, there's a video from Foxlisk on everything about landmo. Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of deep dives on this. If you really want to get good at this, and you're already past the point where you can reliably, sink arrows in as they're coming out of the ground, and just kind of snipe them. You're more used to the bow. You're ready to use the bow. I'd recommend watching like any top runner either practice landmo or do landmo fights in a run or something. It's a very I don't know, a lot of like little things you can learn, what to do if you're like here and landmo's here and one of them's popping up here, right? You can never really completely flowchart it out, but you can build up your intuition enough to be able to do the fight fast and do it like well. But yeah, I'm just gonna do 1 more fight here, and then we'll move on.
Hey, Meowski.
Yeah.
Do you want to briefly touch on like what exactly a worm cycle is? I think there may be a little bit of confusion when we mention like, okay, this is a 2 cycle or that sort of thing, just throughout the game in general. It's a
Yeah.
little hard to explain.
No, yeah,
but,
totally
we're
reasonable.
about 30
Yeah.
minutes in, and we're finishing desert already, so you're great on time. So
Okay.
if you want to touch on that, you could.
Yeah, sure. So, so if you're using the practice hack, you can keep track of the landmo cycles on the. Hold on, let me try to switch colors. Okay, red's better. So you can keep track of the landmo cycles here. The left one is the like first landmo that comes out, and then the second, and then the third. A cycle is so if a landmo is on the first cycle, it's popping out of the ground for the first time, and then when it pops out of the ground for the second time, it's on the second cycle. We keep track of how many cycles they're on to know to roughly gauge how well the fight went, right? Ideally, you can complete the fight in 2 cycles, meaning the last landmo gets killed on its second cycle. You can't really like do a 1 cycle, at least like not in a run. There's like a small caveat to that, but I'm not going to get into it. If you're at the point where you're doing the opening, and you're trying to like get your times down and stuff. I'd go for like consistent 6 cycles at first, and then try to go for consistent 5 cycles, and then maybe 4 cycles. Beyond that, it gets like a little bit less consistent. Each worm is on its own cycle. Yeah, exactly. Can you turn chords off in the prac hack so you can't cheat while practicing your position? Yeah, you can. Should be under HUD extras. My coordinates, I think my stuff might be set up a little bit differently than yours. But the sentries are what display the coordinates, and you can turn this to other stuff or off. I'm gonna put the coordinates back though. Yeah, what else? I don't know. It's a hard fight, challenging, very rewarding fight. In my opinion, I might be in the minority, but I think this is one of the best fights in the game. Just like so, it's fun, technical, a lot of like it's an art more than a science, I guess. But yeah, once you kill him, you grab the heart, you grab the pendant, you get out of here. And now you are going to be outside of Desert Palace. Audio cue's good. I use for the first shot, I use actually the right dirt pattern. It gets big and then it goes 1, 2, 3, and then I shoot. So 1, 2, 3, shoot. So let me. One. No, hold on. It's a little bit faster than I'm making it out to be. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Alright, so that's a 3 cycle. Ideally what you want to do, just another quick tip about this, if a Lanmo's here, for example, and you have the option of either shooting left or right, you want to shoot so that your arrows have a shorter travel time to the wall, because if I'm shooting over here, it takes a long time for the arrow to reach the wall and for me to be able to shoot again. If I miss a shot and I shoot over here, then I can shoot like kind of quickly anyway, so it's not like as big of a deal. Just another little heads up. But yeah, grab the pendant and you're out of here. We have a little bit more time. Any more questions about Lanmo? Or like anything about the split so far? I think I'm going fast enough to be able to answer questions real quick right now. Yeah. Lectanzi says Lanmo is easy. Trying to do Lanmo fast is one of the hardest things in the game. Absolutely, yeah. Alright, sounds like people are good. So now I'll get into the next split. Outside of Desert Palace. So, just a heads up, there are going to be 2 different routes that you can go. I'll show the beginner route first, and I'll show where it diverges because it doesn't diverge for a few screens. Basically the difference is beginner route loses like 8-ish seconds, 6, 7, 8 seconds. But you avoid having to do fake flippers. The harder route does fake flippers, which is it's like slightly difficult to set up. It takes some practice to get used to. And also there's the risk of if you you might soft lock the game in a really funny way that also like invalidates your run for leaderboard purposes. So, kind of dangerous there. It's basically a reset if that happens to you. But I'll get more into that later. And also into like what fake flippers is in the first place. But yeah, for now, grab this rock, go to the right, dash down from here. You want to stop dashing. You obviously don't want to pause here. Like, so hold on. This dirt is kind of in the shape of an octopus. You want to start dashing right, like around the top of the beak here, maybe a little bit lower, like here-ish, here's fine. Because you want to be between these 2 cacti. If you're kind of high, you can trigger this bomb, which is totally fine. It's not going to hurt you. And you want to dash up here, dash right here. You don't want to dash too low because you can bonk on this. So, you know, be aware of that. Dash right here, down, and then to the right of here. You can accidentally grab this rock. Just, you know, something to keep an eye out for. It's like, it doesn't really usually happen, but you can just kind of dash through here. If he worries you, you can slash that guy first. Yeah, so these are the dash lines. Oops. Here. So this is where the routes diverge. If you're newer and you want to avoid fake flippers, I'd avoid fake flippers, honestly, for a while. I don't know, up until like sub 150, 140. Up to you, right? Also kind of depends on when you want to learn like the cool like speedrun tech. But the route for that is you go up here. We have the power gloves now, so we can lift this up, go up. If you want to, if you're low on fairies, you can go to the right here and then up. Not there. Actually, that also has a fairy in it. Bonk these rocks. Fairies in here. That tree apparently also has a fairy in it. I didn't know that. I just bonked that by accident. So you can catch that. And then go right through here. If you don't need that, just go this way. It'd be faster. Don't bonk on that tree. Go up here. Actually, it's a little bit faster to go like here. Oops. Below the grass is like a little bit faster, but don't sweat over it. If you don't have to like retry the dash to do this. It's not a big deal if you're like high. Yeah. Over to here. Up here. Dash left. And keep going. I was gonna bonk there, but you want to do like one long dash here. Avoid the guards. Up here. And this is where, so if you're doing fake flippers, you come out right out of here. Either way, you want to kind of line up with this tree and go up here. Don't cut that grass. Does it really matter that much? I mean, I know it like loses time because it's kind of slow. Also, it advances the bush prize pack, which like don't think about that. But I guess try not to cut the grass. Don't worry too much about it. I'm gonna have to go all the way back here. I should have made a better save state. So I guess I'll show this again. All right, so the fake flipper route is you go down here. You can dash across here or like one tile lower, like 15 frames of lag. Yeah, but if you're going West Side Breezeway or whatever it's called, then like I don't know, 15 frames isn't that big of a deal. If you're worried about 15 frames, that you might as well be doing fake flippers. Yeah, so either of these lanes is good. Up here, I think this is the first place we can do a quick hop. So the way that works is now that we have the boots, we can hop off ledges faster. That actually wasn't an example, but if you notice, it takes a little while for Link to fall off of a ledge after he's holding. He like kind of stumbles a little bit. If you tap A while you're holding towards a ledge, you do it instantly. So just to kind of show it side by side, like tapping to the right, he's not going. Takes a while for him to fall off. Tap A, you're already there. Yeah, fake flippers route. You go this way. Oh, I'll get to that in a second. Good question. So you want to be ideally lined up with like this, if you can. So like through the screen, try to go a little bit lower. How much should I go into this? The way slopes work is if I dash here, I have a chance of being hit by that Octorok. Apparently, I have a chance of being like boosted 1 pixel up from the wall. So do you see how I'm like here? If I go down, I'm actually like kind of, you know, closer to the wall, right? It doesn't pixel boost me all the time, but sometimes it boosts me a little bit. So being like 1 pixel off the wall here is kind of noteworthy because if I go right, I'll go right into that guy, right? If you're 1 pixel off the wall, he will hit you unless he's going up. If he's going, you know, left, right, down, anything like that, he'll hit you. So if I'm lined up with this and I dash right, he won't hit me unless he's going down. And if he goes down, you react, you go to this wall. You want to be lined up with the wall for like other reasons later. Because of setting up fake flippers. So if you're lined up here and you start dashing right, you're gonna be able to get to here without being pixel boosted off of this wall. And that's important because we want to be lined up with this wall, right? Because right here, our Y position is really important for fake flippers. Because the way we want to set this up, and there, you know, random players know like 700 different ways of doing this, right? But in NMG, the way we do it is we grab the bush, hold up right, we do it like that. Grab the bush, hold up right after you press the A input. That's really important. You don't want to hold up right before the A input because then you'll like slide up before grabbing the bush. So grab the bush, hold up right, and then you fall in the water. And when you land in the water, you hold right. And the reason that's so significant is because if I just jump into the water now, Link gets knocked out because he doesn't have the flippers. So what we need to do is be exactly 1 pixel off from the transition, land in the water, hold right, and then on the next frame we'll be on the transition. The game won't realize we don't have flippers. It's the perfect crime. So again, you know, be lined up with this. You can walk here. If you are like in your dash from before, you can like cancel left. Make sure you don't go up or down, and then do this. True. Also, the problem with slash is that there's like a weird every 4 pixels. If you release the slash, or every 4 frames, if you release the slash, it like messes it up. You have to time it so you don't hit one of those like frames, which is why I personally like the bush grab a lot better. You can add a quick hop there and like, you know, throw the bush here for extra speed, but you don't need to. You can just do it like this because the bush will like automatically be thrown. Yeah, that's how you do fake flippers. Let's see. Important thing about fake flippers, and this is where we get to the soft lock that I'm talking about. So if you take damage while you're in fake flipper state, you will be soft locked, right? If you are in this position, you take damage, you respawn back here. Do not move. You can save and quit. Which is save and quit is the second one. So this is NMG, any percent NMG, which is a no save and quit category, which means the moment you do this, like your run is invalidated for leaderboard purposes. But generally in a race, like in NMG League or in the segment things that we do at the mentor program, you can do this if you mess up fake flippers, and then you go to Sanctuary. Sanctuary is this one. You just keep going. It's going to be a time loss if you do that anyway, so it's not like, it's really cheating, but, again, invalidates your run for leaderboard purposes, but like generally fine in a race. The reason, let me get hit by, there again. The reason I wanted to save and quit there is because the moment you start moving, this happens. And it looks really funny. He'll never stop running. He's just going to keep doing this forever. I'm pressing, if you can see my input display, I'm pressing, start, select, like all the buttons. I accidentally made a save state because I was mashing buttons. That's not what I meant to do. Read the rules, yeah. In Renda, some people use damage boost with a bomb to be correctly placed. Yeah, there are a lot of like ways to set up fake flippers in a lot of screens. In NMG, just use the bush. If you mess it up, fake flippers. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, whoops, no, shit. I meant to make a save state before that. Like, let's say you mess it up, you're, accidentally 1 pixel off. You can like manually get to the last pixel of the screen, and then, which should be, it should be like DE7 or something. Kind of hard to do just on the fly. You can figure out a visual cue if you want to, and then you can just do that. You can also do it from, this side, do it from here, hop off, transition this way, and then come back. I personally recommend not even bothering with that and just going back here, resetting the thing, lining up with this, and doing it again. But yeah. If you're a random player, you probably know, again, like 700 ways of doing that. So I'm this isn't new information for you probably. But yeah. So after we get into fake flippers, what we want to do is get into this whirlpool there. But the problem is that Zora is there, and we're a little bit worried because if we swim into him, we're soft locked. And if he shoots a fireball at us, we're soft locked, right? The run's basically dead. Unless you're in a race, in which case just save and quit, desync, keep going. The easy strat of doing this is called baby swim. Oh, forgot to mention, when you're in the water, you can press A, B, and Y to swim. You can mash all 3. It's like a little bit try hard. It's probably easier for you to go between A and B to swim kind of faster. So like this, right? But yeah, so the way baby swim works is we swim to the wall, hit the wall, we swim up. We should be able to get into the portal every time. Even though it looks like that guy's going to spawn on top of us, we'll have time. As long as you, like, don't mess up your movement. Just go right, go up. If you want to save a little bit of time here, you hold up right and swim into it like that. That's like kind of advanced. I think you should probably do baby swim for like a while until you kind of lab that one out. My cue is, and this is sort of based on my mash timing, so it could be different for you. You might need a different cue. I listen for 3 paddles from Link, and then I switch from holding up right to up left. And I keep holding up left, and then into up here. And then I'll be on here. Swimming's a bit tricky in this game because you can, accidentally overcorrect and all of a sudden you're way over here and you want to turn around and you're still going this way and then you start turning around but now you want to go this way. So, just kind of have practice the swimming screens, have kind of a plan for like when you want to start moving in which direction. You should be fine. But anyway, from here, this kind of converges back with I don't know if Fruit Bats did. I think he might have mentioned fake flippers. I don't. He didn't know about baby swim. I think that's like a safety strat that we kind of developed after his time. I think he might have gone over fake flippers. I can't remember. I watched his videos last night to prep for this, but yeah. Anyway, converging with the West Side Breeze route or the fake flippers route. Go over here. As long as we're lined up with this tree over here. We can dash up and not bonk on this tree. We'll be perfectly lined up. Go up here, go around this pickle. You might have to go below him. You might have to go above him. Dash over here, lift the rock, go in the cave. Here you can dash or walk up. Here you can also dash or walk up. They're like about the same time. Dash through the cave. Talk to the old man. So the way the old man works, he's slow, he's senile, he's got like dementia. You know, he can't keep up with you. If you try to run with him, you're gonna start running really slowly. It's actually faster if you just walk. So keep that in mind. If the old man's with you, just walk, don't run. Also another thing, we're in a cave, so when you like mash text boxes, you can mash with X. You're not gonna open up the menu, the map. So if you want to, you know, think about like optimal mashing, there's that information. So we keep going. Old guy wants to talk to us. Gonna mash through. 4 text boxes there. Go around the pit. Do not fall in there. Sucks. Don't fall in pits and caves. Another 3 text boxes here, and then we're out of the cave. So here we want to hold down right out of here. These squirrels will do different things every time. They can really get in your way. They can also just, you know, not do anything and ruin your day. If they get in your way, you want to slash them. You want to be careful though, because you can accidentally slash them so that they're like right here and you can't go around them. And then all of a sudden you've got like 30 cabbages falling on you and they're going in different directions and you're trying not to take damage and you're taking damage and you know, like nightmare, right? But you know, so you want to ideally slash him like just straight down or straight to the right or straight left or like up. You don't want to slash him diagonally.
Hey, you're at the 1 hour mark, so I pinned save questions for the end, so
Gotcha.
that you can keep going.
Okay. I think we can cover the whole thing to the end. Let's see. Yeah, so get through here. That was a little bit risky, but you know, try to get through here. You want to. So the trigger for this is like all across here, right? So you want to, you know, cross this threshold like in the top area and not the bottom. Because if you go down like really low, then actually I'll show what happens if you go really low. Oh, I guess you go all the way over here. But the old man's really far away from the cave, or from his house. He's gonna go into his house. He's gonna walk. It's gonna take forever, and then you can go. By the way, during that cutscene, you can take damage from boulders. So you wanna trigger that high, so to avoid that. So let's do this more time. Make a save state here. If you're a beginner, yeah, like there, that's, you know, oh, I guess the, if I reload the save, the boulder goes in a different direction every time, but sometimes there's no free will and you know, just get hit by a boulder. Beginner strat for doing this screen is you go up and you just kind of dash around. I'll show you the lines. Try not to get hit by squirrels or boulders. Sometimes you have to wait behind them. Dash up like this. If you want to start pumping, this is the screen to do it. You can save like a full second on the stairs. If you're newer, like don't bother with pumping, but you know, if you want to, you know, kind of practice pumping and learn how to pump, do it on these stairs specifically. Don't like bother in a lot of other places. But yeah, anyway, keep going. Dash here. And then you want to enter the portal from the right side if you can. Because that'll set up a quick warp, which saves 30 frames. If you start paying attention to when you get quick warps, the warp transition is like faster if you get a quick warp. If you're in the prac hack, you'll know if you get a quick warp, if you're on a quick warp position when this is like red. The way quick warps work is every however many pixels, there are a few like horizontal pixel positions where if you enter a warp tile, you can get a quick warp. If you're newer, do not worry about this in the slightest. Not a big deal. 30 frames is only half a second. Not something to worry about. But you know, if you're trying to grind down times, this is something to look into. And the quick warp position for this is on the right. So So now I'm going to show, if you want to do spin speed here, it is a little bit harder. I'd recommend against doing this if you're newer, but it is really cool. So you go, apparently get hit by the boulder, spin speed off of these stairs. I got this in the spin speed state just in time before the boulder hit me, but if I get hit by a boulder or a squirrel, I get hit out of it. Sometimes you have to dodge boulders on the way, like there. Optionally pump on the stairs. I'm doing it really slow. Here, what you want to do, you can either go up and around, like this. What's a little bit better is you start holding right and then upright, kind of low, like here-ish. If you do it too high, then turning right will put you out of spin speed state, right? You want to start holding right and then upright, and you'll go under this, and you can go like this. And then you tap A to cancel spin speed and go into the portal. This screen, you go up here. You want to go high in this area. You want to also not talk to these guys. Switch to mirror, and then mirror. There's also a quick warp position there that you can set up, but I'm not going to get into that. You want to either dash up here, or you can, hold on, after mirror? Oh. There it is, okay. So, if you're starting out, just dash up here, or like walk up here or something. I mentioned quick hopping before. The thing about quick hopping is it only works on if you're facing, west, east, or south, left, right, or down. So I can quick hop here, but if I go north and tap, I'll just grab. The way you can get around this, and I'm mentioning this, even though it's like kind of hard to do, probably not worth going for, is because it looks cool, right? So you go up, you face to the side, and then you hold, up and like up left or up right, and then you tap A. So it's gonna look like this. If you want to do the north facing quick hop, saves a little bit of time. Also looks cool. Worth practicing if you if you think that amount of time save or like swag is worth it. If you're newer, don't worry about that though. So we're gonna go to Hera. Just a quick thing. This squirrel can get in your way. Try not to like slash the squirrel so that it turns into a rock in front of the stairs. That sucks. If that happens, dash over here, dash back. It'll like reset the squirrel. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. So here we want to get the small key. So we go down here. Hit the switch. Try to avoid the mold arm and then mirror out. Important thing to note. A lot of the time, if you're here, you will have taken some damage on the way. Maybe you took a heart like on the way out of desert, and then you got hit by like a crab or something, and then you got hit by like some boulders, and then a squirrel. You're on like one heart. If you're inside of a dungeon and you die, it takes you right back to the start. Sometimes it's worth it, specifically in Hera, because you're warping to the beginning so much. To instead of using the mirror to intentionally die. That is allowed in any percent NMG, no save and quit inside of dungeons. It's not you don't want to abuse it in the overworld because that's like not allowed. It probably isn't like something that's going to come up, but just keep that in mind. So yeah. Anyway, now that we've warped back to the start, we have the small key. We want to go to the basement and get the big key. So we slash a switch, slash another switch, and then we start dashing up here. Don't want to bonk this. I like to use the menu to lamp here, so I can kind of see what's going on here. Take a little time to figure out what's going on in the room. Make sure I don't bonk on the thing. I know after first key in Hera. Yeah, exactly. If you do have fairies, like definitely don't intentionally die because the fairy's just gonna proc, right? But if you don't have any fairies left, or if you don't have any at all, after that key is good. Also, I'll show you another spot where it's good to death warp. But yeah, so before I went into this menu, I noticed I hit the Moldorm. Yeah, I didn't really do that properly. This guy can do different things. Sometimes you gotta, react to where he's going, slash him out of the way. Here I'm just gonna have to slash him. Maybe hold out your sword, kill him. You can try this room out, right? You ideally don't want to take damage, but sometimes it's kind of difficult because you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, which is this guy. Yeah, make it through. That one I can just go past him. Yeah, he's a little asshole. I keep forgetting I'm on ZSR. Sorry about that. Okay, this room. This is the don't get lazy room. This room is basically an auto scroller where you just kind of do the same thing. If you get lazy, if you stop paying attention, you will take damage. You don't want to take damage in this room. This is the one room where you should never take damage. Go down here, throw a pot at the switch. You can go between these two and just kind of hold out your sword. If you hold out your sword like this, you will never take damage from these tiles. You can also practice your dash pokes, like this, if you know how to do that, to keep your sword held. Not necessary. You can spin them too. This way you'll be safe. I'll show you a fun way of doing this room in honor of Yoho. He always did this way. You arm spin speed, grab a pot, start moving around like kind of funny. Let's see if I can do this first try. Go in here, go out. You have super speed. This doesn't save time, but it looks fun. And what you want to do at the end of this, no matter how you start this, you throw a pot at the last tile and then you go through the door. Because it's faster to throw a pot at the last tile than to, maybe not like that because I was really far from the door. But, you throw a pot at the last tile and you go through. I have to do that whole thing again. No. Is there a way I can speed this up? Yeah, the problem is there's no, practice hack save state after this room. If you don't want to do the Yoho strat, what you're probably going to do is, I like to spin the third to last tile, grab the pot, go right to the wall, and then up to the door. And then throw left. Should be perfect timing there. Slash here, dash down. If you're not already on the lamp, menu to lamp here, do you want to light all 4 of these torches? Avoid the skeletons if you can. Grab the key, and if you're low on health, you're going to want to jump into these skeletons and death warp. Just take damage from them until you die. Otherwise, mirror out. Now we get to Beetle Room. This could be a tricky room. There are a few ways to do this. The beginner strat is charge a sword spin and do this. Oops. Main things are, in general, you want to slash them into the pits because they take 3 hits to kill. So usually that is kind of hard. If you slash them into the pits, they just fall and instantly die. I'll show the beginner strat again. Ooh, that time he got hit twice there. You want to hit the switch on the way out and then grab this bomb as well. The optimal strat for this is you hold right to cancel stair drag, down right, down to here. Oops. Then you slash this guy and the switch at the same time. If you're new, don't bother with this. But then you do that. I'd recommend the spin strat to start with. It's a lot easier to handle. And it also looks pretty cool too. I forgot to make a save state after this room. He was supposed to go... There we go. That's better. The reason you want to hit that switch is so you can go through here. Saves time in this room, and I believe also this room. You want to go around here, all the way to the wall down here. If you're lined up with the wall, you can go past here, and even dash across here. This switch, if you're newer, always hit the switch. That's the safety switch. You'll be able to get a bunch of hearts right before Moldarm. You really don't want to stop hitting that switch for like a long time, or unless you're like really confident that you're not going to die to any of this bullshit or any of this stuff or Moldorm. I can swear on ZSR. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. So here, what we're gonna do is get the Moon Pearl and then go up and kill Moldorm. There are two ways to do this. There's the intended way, and then there's the bomb jump way. If you're starting out, I'll just show you the intended way. You're probably going to want to do this. Go down here. Be careful here. This is the petting zoo. You don't want to pet the Moldorms. There's a heart here. It's like faster if you go up here, but there's a heart in the bottom, so you probably want to get the heart. This guy's in my way. Dash up here. Kill this guy if he's in your way. You grab the arrows too. If he drops them, go up. You go down here, hit this switch, and you want to fall down here from the top. Then you get the Moon Pearl, and you just keep going. Also, you want to get this bomb right here. I didn't show that earlier, but you want to get this bomb. Unless you're doing a Master Sword run, in which case you don't really care, but you basically always want to get the bomb. Okay. Here's how you do the bomb jump. You can still go and get this heart here. You want to line up like this. Switch to bombs. So you want to place the bomb like here-ish. There are two ways of doing this. I'll show you the way that I think you probably should be doing this. Hold on, let me kill this guy. You place the bomb here, and then you set yourself up with a spin setup to put yourself on the top pixel here without falling in the pit. The highest pixel you can possibly do without falling in the pit. The way you do that is you walk up to the edge. I'll make a save state here real quick. Walk up to the edge. I'm going to intentionally fall in the pit to like kind of demonstrate what happens here. There's like a little bit of time as Link's like about to fall in the pit where you can kind of hold back and he like stutters a little bit, right? What you do is you go up to the edge where Link's like about to fall, then you pull back, and then you release B and do a spin. It's gonna look like this. You're gonna end up on this pixel. The way you know this works is hold on. Kind of use the shadow as a visual cue. I just covered up everything important. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. There, okay. Just kind of look at like Link's shadow. He's like, there's a pixel gap between the bottom of his shadow and that like, you know, light blue circle. In an actual bomb jump attempt, you're not gonna have time to set that up really. But you know, that's just something to know. Like, so you know, like this is the correct pixel, right? So if you want to learn how to bomb jump, you want to practice this timing. So you get this consistently. That was too low. Right? It's not as tricky as you think. The window is like bigger than you think. But it is like something that you need to practice. So again, bomb, you know, kind of go along this wall, bomb like here-ish. And then you bomb jump. Grab this, and then dash down. An alternate method you can do is you want to like tap up until you're like until you can see the light blue circle below you. Little like 4 pixel by 4 pixel thing right there. I have no How long have we had? How long have we been missing audio? Can you hear me now? I think we're. I unmuted myself, so I think we're good. I don't know why. I have the hotkeys. I need to explain bonk. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so stand like right around here. You can be like a little bit lower too, you know, in the ballpark of this, right? Put the bomb down, face left. You wait a certain amount of time, and then you dash and bonk. I don't like this method because it's an arbitrary amount of time, and you got to get like kind of used to the timing. But it is like kind of a big window, so it's not like too difficult. Gotcha. Okay. I'll go back to the first method in a sec just to make sure we've got this covered. Second method is bomb here, wait. And you want the bomb to explode as you're like landing from the bonk. If you like that better, you can go for that. If not, again, slash here, bomb here, do this. There we go. I'll explain this again. You hold up, you know, until you like start to fall into the pit. Then you hold back. Then you release B. Just like that. Takes a little practice to get used to. If you land here, then you're on the top pixel. So the way the first method is the placement same for both? It's not. So for the first method, the bomb placement is a lot more lenient. I, you know, line up with this wall here and then place it like here-ish. For the second method, you want to inch up to here. And then, you know, up until you're about to here. I think here also works. Play around with this one. Place the bomb down and then dash. Again, for this one, bomb placement here. Do this. Cross. This is for your first however many runs. You know, I'd suggest maybe not doing the bomb jump. You will need to learn the bomb jump eventually, especially because you will have to do bomb jumps later on in the run, where you can't really like reliably skip them without, you know, doing some weird route that I don't really want to teach you. Oh, Link's placement. Okay, gotcha. All right, glad you got that. Yeah. It's important to practice this because again it'll be like useful later on. You don't like strictly have to start doing the bomb jump this early on, but anyway, you're gonna go down, grab this bomb, go through here. Usually this guy's gonna be in your way. You might want the arrows that he might drop. If you're not you know, falling through the floor over there, you don't hit this tile. You can go around and up over here. Faster way of doing this is you can actually kind of bypass that this bumper altogether. If you mess this up, you're gonna go straight in here and you're gonna feel embarrassed. If you're too high, then you're gonna do that and you're gonna feel embarrassed. Play around with that. There's like a however many pixel window for that. I suggest, at least for a while, just going around. Not worth getting frustrated over. All of these are hearts. If you hit the safety switch, you can get these hearts. You know, throw the pots of the beetles if you need to. Just fill up on hearts. Then we're gonna go to Moldarm. All right. So when you're practicing Moldarm in the practice hack, this is kind of important. You want to make the save state before you transition to the next floor. So like, you know, like here-ish, for example. The reason for that is if you load the save state from in this room, then Moldorm's first like movement is going to be the same every time, which you might actually want if you're practicing something really specific. But for the most part, you want to have that randomized so you know you have more experience with dealing with what he can do. So the way Moldorm works is you can slash his tail. If you slash his head, it'll like bounce you back a bit. You want to get 5 hits into him, and then for the last one, you want to dash into his tail. And I'll show you how that's done. This is a Moldorm. We hate Moldorm. I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. We hate Moldorm. But this fight is it once you like learn his like patterns and like kind of rhythm, you can kind of build intuition and be able to like get this fight down like fairly consistently. It does take a while. This is a very like the barrier to entry for like Moldorm's kind of high. So there's not like a good like easy safety strat. There's one that I'm going to show you, but there are like downsides to it, and there's like a chance that he's going to hit you off, and then you're going to fall in the pit, and you're going to go back downstairs, and you're going to have to come upstairs. Yeah, but I'll show you. First of all, go to dash down here, dash up here. You want to either walk up. You don't want to dash up. I've seen some of you rando players dash up. You never want to dash up because what happens is he's going to be there. You dash up. As you're like falling off of here, your sword is going to clink off of his head. He's going to send you, if you're lucky, back up here, which is funny, but loses you some time. And if you're unlucky, you go straight into the pit. You don't want that. So what you want to do is either walk straight up, or you can north quick hop up, which does look cooler, like that. So for the first hit, so if you also might want to delay the jump if he's like down here and you're worried that he's gonna hit you. Something to keep in mind. If you are like brand new, you want like just the easiest, most foolproof method to do this. I want you to hold your sword out and try to like wait for him and poke his tail. The problem with this is he can get around you and he can hit you off. But if he's ahead of you, he can't push you off as long as you're holding away from the pit. As long as if he hits your sword and you're holding your sword and you're holding away from the pit, he won't hit you in the pit. He can get around you and hit you. That's why like the sword out method isn't safe. But just something to consider. You can keep doing this. Try to poke him a few times. And so this is, I hit him 5 times. You'll probably notice the sound of his movement is like a lot faster now. So that's like the audio cue I use to know that he's in an enraged phase. Or you can just count to like 5 and then you'll know that this is what you're doing. You've been doing north quick hop movement. You forgot how to press A, or you forgot you had to press A. Yeah, it's I mean, good on you for getting the movement down. It is like pretty tricky actually, but it looks cool. Yeah, once you're in the enraged phase, what you want to do, hold out your sword. No matter what like level you are, you want to hold out your sword either facing left or right. Wait for him to lock onto you. He'll like kind of at some point he'll be turning around and then he'll lock onto you and go straight for you. Wait till he's almost at you and then you start charging a dash. And that'll look like this, unless he's like stuck on that side. And there, he was going like kind of directly towards me. On the last phase, you can kind of safely dash through him. Other phases, you can like generally sort of dash through him, but sometimes you take damage because you like are inside of him on a frame rule, and then you get hit, and then you fall off the side and you cry. So you don't want that. So generally, unless you're like really experienced and you know what you're doing, you want to not dash through them until the very end. So once you get more experience with this, or if you want to try something that's a little bit faster, a little bit harder, but also like more safe, first what I want you to do is just kind of get in here and just kind of dodge Moldorm. you at some point you kind of get like an intuition for what his movements are going to be. So he'll turn around, and then he'll like go straight, and then he'll like lock onto you, and then go. He'll turn to lock onto you, and then he'll go right at you. You can kind of get a feel for when he's about to lock onto you, and then you can sidestep him and slash him. But for a while, like just to get used to what he's doing, just kind of look at what he's doing, try to dodge him a little bit, see how close you can get without getting hit. If he's facing a pit, if he's near a pit, what will happen a lot of the time is he'll hit the pit and bounce off and be able to hit you. But if he's not near a pit, he doesn't have that big of a turn radius, so you can sort of stand behind his head and not be hit until he gets to the pit. Sort of like an alligator, you want to do, like, they can't turn around very well, so that's how you avoid them and don't die. Yeah. Once you get more experience with that, you want to start, like, slashing the tail, after you've baited him. Wait for him to turn around there. Be behind him. It takes a little while for the tail to be, like, able to be hit. So you have to wait. You have to kind of get used to the timing and wait, and then be able to slash. Here he was, like, close to a pit, so I waited. Here I can be behind him and slash. And now it's the final phase. He's going to come for me, or he's going to do that. If he's in that corner, you can, like, stand here and spin him. Oops. I misread that, because he actually wasn't going for me there, but I still got it. I'm going to do this a few times just to give you something to look at. This takes a while to get down. You can, again, just do the strat where you're holding out your sword. It's, like, easier. It's, but you run the risk of, like, Moldorm coming around and hitting you. You're going to fall in the pit a lot of times. If you're dashing horizontally, you want Link below Moldorm's eyes. So if you're dashing horizontally, if he's going diagonal from you, you want him to, like, pass you. I'm not sure if you can see my camera. If he's going right at you, you want to be, like, kind of higher, so you, like, barely get to him. You also never want to dash up or down. Never ever dash up or down in this fight, because you'll usually get hit for reasons that I can't remember. Yeah, I'm gonna do, like, one, maybe two fights of this just so you kind of see what's going on. This is kind of using the more advanced, like, strats. I'm gonna wait for him to turn around, hit him, stand behind him, hit him again. He's gonna bounce off the wall, so I'm gonna fuck off, hit him. He's gonna bounce off the walls again. You can hit him. He's gonna keep bouncing off the walls, but there's the time to strike. There we go. If he, like, bounces around here, you want to stand here. You can spin from, like, here, and since Link's spin hitbox is a big old square, you can spin him here and you can get him. Oh, you heard a kitty cat? Yeah, she's she's down here. She wants attention. I'll do the fight one more time. Again, this is something where you're going to want, like, direct feedback from your mentors. This is, honestly very fun, but very, like, difficult and worth practicing. He's gonna bounce off of there, or not. He's gonna come for me. Here we go. Sort of. If there's a way to do it, if he's going diagonal, you, like, kind of can. I still recommend against doing that, just in general. No, you're good. Yeah, I love cats too. I've seen Aerie do, like, a down dash, but, like, specifically on the enraged phase when Moldorm's going diagonal. I'd in general recommend against going up or down. Sorry, I'd probably repeated myself. I'm distracted by my cat. She really wants pets. I might have to if she becomes a distraction, I might have to kick her out of the room. But yeah, anyway, you want to grab this heart without falling into the pit, because I've done that before, and then grab the pendant. One thing I didn't mention, I guess I'll show what happens. So if you fall in this pit, you just go down the floor below, and then you go back up the stairs. If you fall in the middle hole, you go down 2 floors, and then you feel really bad about yourself. You have all that time to contemplate what you've done wrong. So try to avoid, like, you know, being near the middle hole. If you, like, going down 1 floor isn't too bad, but like 2 floors just feels really bad, and it's like a lot slower. But yeah, middle hole equals Brad Pitt. I'm missing some context, but I middle hole bad, exactly, yeah. All right, so I think I can finish this in half an hour. There is an alternate route through the Aga Tower split when you're in the Lost Woods, where you get tree rupees. If you're at the point where
Oh,
you're
wait.
considering, oh, sorry.
Hi, sorry. Could you please show the newer runners how to do the bitch switch and access the pots as well as the emergency vases that if they fall down, they're extremely slow and out of the way. But like if they're in a race situation and they're dying, there are fairies in Hera.
That's okay. That's a good question. I did show the switch, but I'll show it again. It should be like right before petting zoo, I
Thank you.
believe. Oh yeah, no, I was right there. So it's this switch right here. You'll be dashing along here. That beetle's not going to be there, but slash the switch, and then once you get to like right before Moldorm, these pegs will be down. You can get all those hearts. I actually don't know where the fairies are. So if you could like guide me there. I'd appreciate that. Is it? Yeah, it used to get called that. I think now people call it more like the, you know, the
Oh,
weenie
glad
switch or
to
whatever,
remember.
the safety switch.
Yeah, so before the screen where you would load the boss, they're to the left.
Here.
I'm watching on like a 20-second delay, so I
Okay.
will let you know when you're there.
Is it one of these? Well, let me make a save state and check. Oh, yeah, it's that pot right there, isn't it?
Go up. Well, I don't know where you are because this is such a bad delay for me, but the top left, um, darker blue,
That's a lot of pots to
the
fall
very,
through.
it's
But if
the
you need
very top.
fairies,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah. Okay, you found it. I see.
yep, yeah, you can get a fairy there. And then where does this take you? Oh, right back here. Okay, so that's not it's just pretty slow, but it's not that slow. Definitely worth, if you're scared, if you're out of fairies, definitely worth going for. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up because I didn't know about those pots. So on the Aghanim's Tower, there is an alternate route through Lost Woods if you were getting tree rupees. We're kind of, you know, stretched for time, so I'm not going to go over that. But if you are like at a point where you want to go for tree rupees, ask your mentors for advice. Look at the FMG tutorials on like Lost Woods. But for now, I'm just going to go over the non-tree rupee route, which assumes you went into Sahasrala's closet and got the 100 rupees there, or I think it's 100 rupees. Yeah. And the reason for that is you need those rupees for to pay the troll toll to Kiki in Palace of Darkness in the next split. Anyway, outside of Hera, here, let's make a save state coming out of here. You can do this screen 2 ways. Easier way is to just kind of dash. Careful of, we call this squirrel who just ran off screen really quick. Oops. Where is she? This is Katy Perry. We don't like Katy Perry in this game. In general, she's fine. Probably, I don't know off the top of my head if she's been in any controversy, but the squirrel Katy Perry is bad because sometimes she gets in your way and you take damage. But yeah, this is how you do the screen. Go here. Going down these stairs is really time consuming, so you just want to quick hop off of here, or just kind of hold down if you know you don't want to quick hop. You can also spin speed here. Oh, now she's in the way. Yeah, if she's like there, you don't want to spin speed at all. But if she's not in the way, you can spin speed. It's a little bit scary because you don't want to go down, you know, down there and fall. It loses a little bit of time, but you can go down here. A little bit faster to do that. Go into this cave. You go up, left, up, around this pit, and then dash here. Try not to bonk here. Bonking here sucks. Bonking in the next room super duper sucks. So here, if you're newer, you want to always get these arrows. If you're more experienced, you want like, I think minimum 5 arrows here. If I had to, someone knows the actual like number, but you want like 4 arrows for the red guards, and then 1 arrow for the switch in Palace of Darkness. So at least 5 here. But yeah, if you're newer, always get the arrows. You don't want to run out. If you just dash here and don't pay attention, you'll bonk into that pit, and then you'll go all the way back over here. So we don't want that. So, you know, after taking the arrows, or not after taking the arrows, you dash. You want to count the pits. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pause. The save state for in the prac hack is like a little bit weird. You'll probably be on bombs if you did a bomb jump, and then you can switch over to bow here, which you will use later. You know, you can pause there just to the pause there is because you need to use the menu anyway, and also to kind of just set you up for, like, you know, taking some time to see where you are and to not bonk into the pit here. But yeah, so it's 4 pits, not including the pit before the arrows. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Menu to bow. I meant to hold down out of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Menu to bow. Dash down out there. They're not even visible. You get used to, like, kind of counting those quickly. You'd also, I guess, count the dash sounds. I count the pits personally. Yeah. Small little thing. The transition here is like way lower than you think, which is why dashing here is actually faster, which seems counterintuitive. Stop early and be safe. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way of doing it. Here, since we're not doing tree rupees, for the purposes of this tutorial, you want to dash up here, dash left, up, then go over here. So here, you want to go like up left a little bit and start this dash like high enough so that you're nudging these bushes here. You don't want to go all the way here because then you'll bonk, but you want to go like most of the way up here. Then you can dash down and not get hit by that bird. If you're too low, you will sometimes run into that pickle, but all the time get hit by that bird. So if you think you're too low, you can stop and slash the bird instead, and hopefully not bonk. There's a lot of bonking in Lost Woods. Anyway, go down here, up here, round. Here, most of you are probably going to get the mushroom. Mushroom is going to be important later because we can turn it in and get the magic powder, which we can use to, you know, powder a few things to turn them into fairies, which is good for safety strats. At some point, you'll drop powder, but you'll keep the mushroom because you can fake powder in like a few, but not as many places. So again, most of you are going to get the mushroom. Probably get it on the way back because you can like accidentally get it twice, which is slower. So we'll just remember to get it on the way back. Dash through here. Try not to bonk. Here, I see a lot of like old school players go around here and dash this way. It's actually a little bit slower. You want to dash here and then long diagonal here. It's counterintuitive, but that's actually a little bit faster. Hold upright out of that, out of this log, and then dash up and go and grab the sword. So this will be a long cutscene. Let's skip it by after Grove, I think. Once you get to here, as you're coming out of here, there will be a text box here, so just cancel it with like L and R. Here you want to do the same stuff but in reverse. Go here, go here. Bird's not going to get you. Go here, go here. Grab the mushroom. Keep going through. here, down to here. You can dash through that bird. You don't want to be aligned here because you will bonk with a tree down there. Oh yeah, now that you have the Master Sword, you have beams, so that's going to be important for a lot of stuff. You want to diagonal like past here a little bit and then start dashing, so then you can, you know, get through here without bonking the tree. Here you want to hold down right, ideally until your ear gets covered by the tree, like at least a little bit, because very occasionally this guy will turn really quickly and hit you otherwise. That's the thing a lot of people don't know. Not a big deal because it's probably not going to happen, so just, you know, if you don't hit it, then don't worry about it. Dash, you know, here. Now we're going to make our way to Hyrule Castle to do the Aga Towers, the rest of the Aga Tower split. Here, we're going to do something called a fence dash. So if I go like here, hold on. If I go like here, there we go. I'll just bonk on this fence. Some of these pixels I'll be able to get past, some of them I'll bonk. If you start dashing down around here, you can slide past this fence. It's sort of like a, you know, like a grid alignment frame rule thing, right? But, you know, not a huge deal if you miss it. You can also just go past the fence and go down. But, you know, you want to go down here and through here. There are two dash lines here. There's the boomer dash line, which is a lot of older players do, which is you nudge here, and you can get past these guys. Because the goal here is to not take damage from these guys. There's also the zoomer dash line, which is you want to go past, like at least past the halfway point of these hearts. So like, you know, here or more to the right is good. This way you're on the right side of the guards and you won't get hit by their swords. Here, just dash over here. And we're going to make our way to Aghanim's Tower. It's not that difficult to get through this without dying. But it is a difficult split because there are a lot of things that can go wrong here, a lot of really technical strats at like a higher level that can save or lose you, you know, like fractions of time, right? As a newer runner, this is going to be like probably one of the easier splits, honestly. You're like less, you know, likely to die here, but a lot of stuff goes on here. Beginner strat for this room. I can slow down if you need. I am going a little bit fast. I'm hoping I want to like get through Aga Tower, and like worst case, you know, you can go back and look at the VOD, and you know, ask your mentors for questions. Let me know if you want me to slow down. I can see if we can answer some questions on the way at the end of this. But anyway, in this first room, there are two guys here. We're gonna ring the dinner bell. We're gonna, you know, tap this, wait for these guys, wait for their feet to touch each other, go back and double spin them. That's the easy way of doing that. The hard way of doing that, which I don't recommend newer runners to do, is this. It saves a little bit of time. There's also like a bunch of different strats based on whether or not you have enough arrows, whether or not you want to conserve beams. Very technical room, but you know, for now you want to just ring the dinner bell for Din Din. They'll come, try to get dinner, and you'll surprise them with not dinner but a double slash. Here, beginner strat is you want to like hold your sword and spin these guys. This is totally fine. They might drop a fairy. If you like don't have a, you know, bottle in that, that is very concerning to you because of the way drops work in this game. That means you're probably not going to get a fairy in Turtle Rock, which is you know, in a lot of cases a death sentence. But if you have like at least powder, and maybe also, you know, like a bottle in that, that's not going to concern you like at all, so you can just spin those guys. Another strat to do if you want to, you know, if you know what a prize pack is and you want to preserve it and you like you're past the point where you drop powder, right? What you can do is go down here, you slash them twice and then you dash through them. Dashing through them means that they don't drop anything. which means that the fairy that they could drop here will actually just end up getting dropped in Turtle Rock. It's like kind of hard to do. You want to go below the carpet, slash twice, dash. Again, beginner runners, you don't want to be doing that. Yeah, it is crazy. It's like really interesting how the prize packs and the drops work. There's a lot of other planning you can do early on in like Eastern and you know other stuff for like rupee farming basically. If you do tree rupees. But you know, for the most part, it's like not really anything to worry about until you like get to the point where you really need to worry about it. Another strat here that's like easier than the one that I just showed you. You can dash through the guards like this. Just be careful with these guys because they're really fast. So if they get on top of you, they'll be on top of you and you got to slash them away at the very least. But yeah, regardless, you want to open the chest here. This is also another key dash. So, you know, when you open the chest, you're going to be lined up with the chest. You want to go left, and you want to dash and then turn up. You don't want to turn up and dash because then you'll bonk. You want to dash and then turn up. Very important. And if you don't want to do that, you can just, you know, cancel at the end and just go through or just walk the whole thing, right? Yeah, howdy, Satan. Here, if you... Okay, so the beginner strat, I think, is to dash through this guy and then just go... No, just kill him. Just kill him. Screw this guy. Kill him. If you're new to this, just kill him like that. Dash through him and then slash him again. Or, like, spin him. Oops. Just get him out of the way. He's really fast, he'll get you. The advanced strat for this is you hold left out of the door to cancel stair drag. And then you kind of do a movement that baits him so that he goes, like, above the doorway. And you can kind of sneak past him. You can do it like this. Like, delaying your diagonal down left. You can also kind of stagger your down left with, like, a left for a little while. So if you look at my inputs, do it like this. If you want to do it that way, you got to make sure your movement's clean. Otherwise, he will hit you, which does suck. But yeah, if you're newer, just, you know, kill him, get him out of the way. Don't worry about it. This is a stealth mission. This room is a stealth mission. This one, you, if you have beams and you slash your sword, like 30 guards will want to kill you. Actually, that didn't alert this guy for some reason. I'm shocked that he didn't get alerted. They usually like always get every single one of them gets alerted. And then it no longer is a stealth mission. Similarly, if you bonk, they'll all get alerted. You don't want that. You want to get here through here stealthily. You will have to dash through this bat here. So just be careful. Make sure you cancel the dash without bonking. Takes like a little bit of timing, but there's no like better way of doing it because otherwise you alert the guards. Get back around here. This maze will take like a little bit of time to memorize, but shouldn't be too bad. So I'll show this again. Dash through here, around here. Sometimes the guards will notice you. They kind of move around like randomly. Like this guy's in my way now. Now I gotta kill him and now everyone's on me. Now I gotta kill this guy. Now that this guy's in my way. This is not how you want this to go, but I just kind of got unlucky. If that doesn't happen, you can kind of just, you know, sneak past him. Hopefully that'll happen this time. Yeah, that guy's out of the way. Just kind of wait for the bat. Get around this guy. That room can go horribly wrong in a lot of different ways. Here, I think you can just hold upright. It's a little bit faster if you know what bastard doors are and you get around that, but we don't have enough time to cover that. So just, you know, upright around these guys. Over to here. This one you just kind of go around here. There's a guy in the previous room, but we just go around him. This is another sort of stealth section where you might have to assassinate a guy depending on where he's going. There's someone here. You can go around him if he's like that. Sometimes he goes, yeah, like here, he'll see you. You got to slash. And then this guy will see you. And depending on how, like, where he is, you might have to, you know, slash him. Most of the time, you can just dash through there. I'll do this a few times so you can see. Oops. Ah! You don't want them to hit you off the side. I'll do this one more time. I can't believe you didn't see me there. So here, what's the beginner strat for this? I think it's just... I did not make a save state. Beginner strat is just kill this guy. Dash up here, go around here. Slightly harder strat is after you dash through here, you keep your sword held out. I'll do this without beams first, actually. If I can. You keep your sword held out, you poke the guy with your sword, and then you slash him. If you don't have beams, you can key dash off the bottom wall. Oops. Darn. But if you do have beams, you have to go like that and cancel. You can't key dash off the bottom wall if you do have beams because it alerts the arrow guy. So he'll be like above you and then he'll be shooting at you and it's not fun. If you do that, like that slash a little bit higher, then he gets stuck on the torch. So I'll show this again. Poke, slash, this guy's stuck on here, and he can't get you. And you want to cancel before you bonk there. See if I can... I don't think I can... Okay. The Dark Room of Melancholy? We have fun names for some of these rooms. You don't have beams, do this, go up from here. You can... I was too far to the right, but you can key dash that. And that guy won't be able to get you. He won't be alerted like early enough because you won't have beams. Alright, this room. I didn't get the key. Let's just load the preset. This room, the beginner strat is you shoot this guy twice. If you're facing, one of these guys, like the spears will always clink on your shield, so you can like wait for that and then shoot him twice. You dash through. He'll do... I'll have to like randomize this because he can go like a few different directions. So you kind of have to just, adjust and arrow based on that. Dash through. More advanced strat here is you hold left to cancel stair drag, go down really quick, slash those guys, and then do this. So I'll show that one more time. Oh, because the prac hack is funny like that. And doo-doo is funny. I don't know. So what happened there was sometimes this guy can get like a spear thrown at you, so you have to just kind of clink it with your shield, and then you can shoot arrows at this guy. That time, one of the arrows didn't hit him because his spear clinked with the arrow, so I had to kind of adjust my timing based on that. This is a really cool strat. It is hard, and it also does require beams because otherwise they don't get like alerted properly. If you don't have beams and you have arrows, you can do it this way. Oops. You want to make sure that the spear, you like clink the spear with your shield. Otherwise, it takes forever to travel and hit the wall, and the door won't open until all the spears are gone. I can slow down a little bit. Okay. Sounds good. But yeah, just for beginners, beginner strat is shoot him twice, dash through. Here, poke this, Try to spin them. You want to spin the top one twice if you can, and then finish off the bottom one. I'll show this again. They'll go in different directions. Yeah, there we go. Got him twice. If you have beams, you can actually do this a little bit faster by slashing here instead of poking. Didn't get him that time either. You can also like double beam him there. Main thing to keep in mind is just you really just need to kill the red guards in both of these rooms. Again, if you're new, don't worry too much about doing all this optimally. Just, try to kill them and be safe. These strats are, if you find something that's slower and works better for you and is safer, more comfortable, go for that. But I'll offer you some, fun, quick strats that are usually like fairly safe as well. All right, so here, this beginner strat is like hot off the presses. Bitey made it up very recently. You don't go through yet. You hold up, you face up, hold your sword out and go down. Click on the door, double spin this guy, throw 2 pots at this guy, and then you boomerang the key. You also want to get these arrows. So I'll slow that down. I'll do that like a few more times. Oh, right, I want to clink the door. Hold on. I forgot to hold my sword out before that. Hold on, let me just try this again. Worst case scenario, you just, do the spin and you get them. It's not too bad of a strat. Yeah, this is brand new. I stole this from Bitey. He had a run where he did a bunch of like beginner friendly strats for all the rooms. I'll like link that I think that's like linked probably somewhere, but I stole that like directly from him. Because I wasn't sure if there was like a beginner strat for this room. The non-beginner strat for this room is grab this pot, throw it at him, menu to boomerang here, and you use this menu to figure out if the top guard is going to get in your way. He's going to get in my way, so I'm going to have to boomerang him. And then I throw this pot at this guy, and then I boomerang the key. This strat's a lot more difficult because you have to have like good reactions and a good game plan and good timing for when this guy comes at you. He also sometimes like slow or quick aggro, so you have to kind of wait till he like gets to here, then and then boomerang him. So I'll show that again. Whoops, I'll show that again. If that all goes to shit, then you're gonna have to go around here. Grab this, kill the guy, get his key, grab this, go around. You always want to get these arrows right here. You want to get if you're doing tree rupees, you want to get these pots here because you need those, like 6 rupees are probably vital. That's about it for like the really challenging rooms. From here, you kind of just go diagonal here. If you cut the diagonal too close, then that guy hits you, so be careful. You can also dash through, but sometimes he gets you. Like here. He'll get you sometimes. I usually do the dash strat because I like gambling. Here you push the statue, go around. Here, you want to boomerang this guy. Then just kind of go past him here, maybe kill him. Faster way of doing this is... Oops. Like that, and then dash up here and hope he doesn't hit you, but he always does. You can also, if you have beams, there we go. You want to slash him off because of, you want him in the pit because of lag reduction reasons. But again, if you're a beginner, just, boomerang this guy, go around, walk it out, get this guy out of the way, keep going up. You dash there, is that bad? Which room? Is it after Circle of Pots? Oh, this time that guy didn't go in my way at all, so... Yeah, here he can sometimes get you. And sometimes I completely mess up and bonk there. Easier to probably just, you know, go here. Yeah. I mean, I personally do the dash, but it is a little bit riskier. So we're almost done. So here you go in, you want to start a dash and turn up here, or you can start like walking up here. You want to like try to put yourself in a position to be able to like clear a lot of, you know, space after the text box, just to save a little time. It's not really that necessary. Here you can't do anything. You can mash all the buttons, but it doesn't do anything to the game because you're going through a cutscene. You want to keep holding dash. If you started a dash here, you want to keep holding dash like once the cutscene ends, so you can complete the dash and go here. Instead of doing like some kind of like Monty Hall problem, you know, like which door is he behind? He's always going to be behind the middle door, just a heads up. Which we saw him go through that anyway, but you know, in case you were wondering, middle door always. So the Aghanim fight is both the easiest and the most punishing fight in the entire game. The reason is it's basically an auto-scroller, but he can randomly add 6 seconds to the fight. He can decide like that he doesn't like you and he's going to add another 6 seconds. The way this works is he throws balls at you. The first one's always going to be an energy ball, which you can, you know, spin and reflect back to him. The second through fourth each have a 50-50 chance of being blue balls. Blue balls can't be reflected back at him, and they explode, and like, you know, you want to put yourself in a position to not get hit by them. Because losing health on Aghanim is like a little bit embarrassing. And if you're, you know, an experienced runner, and if you're like getting hit by stuff in this, you should feel bad. But only if you're experienced. If you're new, then don't worry about that. And then for each cycle, the fifth thing is going to throw at you is lightning, and you can't reflect that at all. So I'll show that real quick. He also warps randomly. You want to try to hit him to the center, like that. It's a little bit faster if you hit him towards the center. This has a 50-50 shot of being a blue ball or an energy ball. You want to stand like either left or right of him, by the way. There's technically like more optimal ways of, you know, hitting him, but now I'm just going to try to stay to the side and hit him to the center. That's 3 blue balls in a row. We're on pace for 15, which is actually awesome. 15 blue balls. If you get that legitimately, send me a clip and I will like gift you 10 subs or something. It's only ever happened 2 times to the same person. We're still on pace for 15, by the way. We're still on pace for 15. This is crazy. I've lost 5 coin flips in a row. 6 coin flips in a row. This is going to be lightning. And then this is a guaranteed energy ball. To be honest, I think you get the idea, but I want to see if I can get to 15. Okay, yeah, now it's 15 skilled. 15 blue balls is the maximum, by the way. But yeah, once you don't want to stand too close to him, because if you spin him, he'll electrocute you, and it'll like, you know, skip that phase, and that's another 6 seconds. But yeah, that's Aghanim. Now you're in the Dark World. There's a cutscene, you mash through it, and then you're in the next thing. I was hoping that it happened to Scrivo twice, and nobody else ever. Your PB's 9. That's so sick. I'm proud of you. I almost got... My first 125 was almost a 7 blue ball run, but I like choked it at the very end. But it was a beautiful run. Yeah, so the thing about blue balls is because it's like it's just an RNG check of like whether or not you lose time in there, which does suck, you know. If you look at the leaderboards, there is a column for blue balls for every PB, and that's why. It's, you know, so you know like how like much of the time loss is specifically from that. But yeah, that is Desert Palace entry to the end of Aghanim's Tower. I know I did rush definitely a few things there. So please let me know if you have any questions. I believe we have some time for some questions. Feel free to ask me questions in the Discord later if you think of any later. Just in the Mentee channel or whatever, MP General chat. And you can always ask your mentors for questions on this. Again, if you're new to this, if you haven't done any runs, if you have a 2 hour time or a 150 something time, you're generally probably going to want to do the first strats that I showed you, the ones that I specify are beginner strats. And then if you want to try something a little bit spicier, then you can try some of the other strats. Make sure you practice them and make sure that they're you have them down before you get to them. But yeah. All right, Q&A time. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. Again, if you want, you can go back and watch the VOD. Hopefully for some of them, there will be value in looking back and kind of rewinding a section a few times. And I know I didn't cover the just the minutia of every screen. So if you have questions about pixel alignments or anything like that, feel free to ask. If you want me to go over a fight or a room again, I'm happy to as well. Oh, she doesn't want to be in my lap. I just try to entice her to be in my lap, but no, she wants out. Okay.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, I don't see anything upcoming on the Zelda speedrun schedule for the rest of the day. So we have time for questions now. If you have any mentees, this is a good opportunity. As long as Nash is still available, go for it.
The dash poke in the tile room in Hera. Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. So dash pokes are something you're going to have to learn at some point anyway. This is absolutely not necessary for the tile room. It's just, you can practice dash pokes there. So the way it works is you hold out your sword, the tile hits the sword, and you, before the sword gets pulled back, you tap A for a little bit, and it keeps the sword out. So I'll show that in action. If you do it right for every one of them, you never drop your sword. It'll be a little bit after the tile hits your sword. It can also probably be you can probably start it before the tile hits your sword as well. There's a big window. You don't want to keep holding A because then you'll dash. You can also go up to these and hit them. Oops. But yeah, the timing is a little bit, I guess it can be a little bit weird. It takes a little bit of practice. But if you want dash poke practice, try to see if you can get your sword to not drop the entire time. And make sure you're looking at Link because if he does drop his sword, it's not immediately apparent. I have literally died in this room multiple times to just not paying attention. This is the this is the don't get lazy room. Even though it is kind of an auto-scroller. Yeah, for sure. Again, I mean, you can absolutely just hold out your sword and then slash it back once the tile hits. This is this doesn't lose any time. This is the exact same. But it'd be fun to practice your dash time or dash poke timings. Yeah, look at Link and not chat exactly. there anything I feel like I should have gone over a little bit more?
I'm trying to think through everything. You covered a lot. You did a really good job.
You.
I'm still processing everything, trying to think of anything you
I
may have
did.
skipped, but
Yeah. It is. I wouldn't be surprised if like you need to go back and look at that again. That was kind of like a lot of information, sort of drinking from the fire hose. So like absolutely, if you need to like use that more as a reference for like specific rooms, then you can do it that way.
yeah, I'll get this VOD published as soon as I can, and we'll get the next race announced and those people invited and all that stuff moving forward. So this will be the next stopping place for the weekly progress race.
Are we
We'll
gonna
end
stop before or
upon.
after Aghanim?
We're gonna stop after Aghanim. I think we can do it.
Okay.
The mentors are working hard. The mentees are putting a lot of time in. Yes, there's a lot of things to optimize in these sections, but there's a lot of backup strategies that they can do. And let's get to Dark World and let's end this next race at the death of Aga 1 so that we're ready to start in Dark World for the next week.
Okay. I
And
was
if it
not happy
isn't
with how I was petting her.
realistic and the mentors tell me, "Hey, it's too much or whatever," then we'll adjust, but for now that's what I'll be moving forward with as the announcement.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was
Any further questions for me, anyone? Looking for a raid while you guys finish your thoughts, finish your notes. It's very hard for the mentors to present these because there's such a wide range of skill levels and you're on the spot and the pressure's on and you got to remember how to do things optimally and the backups and then maybe a backup for the backup in addition to kind of keeping up with chat, but then I'm kind of here in the mentor's ear as well to be like, "Hey, you only have like 30 minutes left." So there's a lot going on and let's just show a lot of appreciation towards these
oh,
mentors, guys.
appreciate that. Yeah, and thanks to you too, Pops. You did a good job of like keeping me on time and like making sure I went over a few backups that I missed. So thank you for that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm always a little hesitant to like overstep because it's not my presentation, it's not about me, but I do try to keep um, you know, keep expectations set properly and kind of help the mentors to stay on task. So right now it looks like we have a mentee doing a run and that mentee is in Coin's group and I believe Coin is our next presenter. So we're going to send a raid to Centipede.
Oh, great.
And then, like I
Senti's
said,
great.
I'll get this VOD published and I'll post it in the announcements and it can be reviewed at your convenience. And then work hard with your mentors throughout the week and we'll pick up the next race on Saturday afternoon again. And that will be added to announcements as well. So thank you guys. Have a great day.
See y'all. Goodbye forever.